Mike's Daily Podcast.
Do you have a friend who is always asking you for favors? And when you look at the long list of favors that they've asked you, and you go, wait a minute, let's see, they've asked me for 50 favors, I've asked them for 0. And then let's say that friend one day grows tired of you because you stopped doing favors for them, and you never get to cash in any of the favors.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
What is that about? I hate that. I'm one of those people that loses track of favors. That's why I hate doing people's favors, and that's when people ask me,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, Mike, can you do me a favor? I usually cringe, and then I walk away, and then they look at me, and then they say, Mike, why don't you do this favor for me just for once? You're not a nice guy. And I go, you're taking advantage of me, and I just want to die. And they say, you have got to do this favor for me, Mike, because I am completely using people all the time, and I'm a user.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to the show today. And my favor that I ask of you is that you stick around for the next
Mike's
9 more minutes.
Daily
Because it's going to get really interesting.
Podcast.
But you can tell me what you think.
Yeah.
You can call me at 336-MM-DAILY, 336-MM-DAILY, or you can email me, MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com. Or we are on a gazillion places all over the social media world. We have been for eons now. 10 years ago, I moved to the Bay Area, and I love it. I hate the traffic. I hate the gas prices. I hate the taxes. And everything else I love. For the most part, I like the people. For the most part, I like the weather. I just don't like some things I don't like, and that would be the traffic. But do I think we need a wall around the United States of America?
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively.
This has become his Obamacare. This was the big thing. Remember, Obama absolutely wanted to have health care for everybody. And, well, that ended up being something where it was so divisive. It was the divisive issue that people still have tagged that name to his thing, the Obamacare. So do we have Trump wall? Well, I guess it's not as catchy. But yet, this is his albatross. Every president has his albatross, and this would be Trump's. A big wall metaphor, I guess, would you think?
And here's today's podcast picture.
Hey, it's this person here. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. I like to build a wall around myself. Is that not true, Chely? I think the big wall that we've already constructed is the wall around our hearts. We try to keep everyone out in our world where we go home and we turn on the TV and we get lost in Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever the heck, YouTube. Some of us still watch network TV. To those people, I laugh. Ha! Why? Why sit through all those commercials? I have never understood that. But we do. We do have a wall around our hearts. If I built this fortress around your heart, encircled it in something and barbed wire, then can I build a bridge? For I cannot fill the chasm, and let me break the battlements apart. That was a song in the 80s. That was huge. Sting. Gosh, people forget how big Sting was. Sting was so big, he was in the movie Dune. Sting was so big, the Police would play. That album, Synchronicity, was giant. The biggest song of the 80s was Every Breath You Take. Giant. And then so Sting goes solo, and he had a lot of success with that. That was the 80s. When you think of the 80s, don't just think of Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. Think of Sting. He was big back then. Where are we? We're back here on the show. Now I've realized my mom used to call these mufflers. It's the big scarf that goes around your neck because it's cold outside. And I've got my Barracuda hockey jersey on. Barracuda is the minor league or the American League team that plays under the Sharks in San Jose. And then I have this big warm hat on my head, and I'm starting to run out of steam, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, I think we do build a big encirclement around ourselves because we can just do it so easily. How many times have you gone out of your way to see a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and they pull out their smartphone and they start typing away on it, and they're not even looking at you, they're not even listening to the conversation, and you get this, you're trying to tell them a story. Well, you know, I took my dog Basil the Boxer to the park, and I noticed he wasn't walking really well. Click, 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 click. Really? That's interesting. Click, 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 typing away. Click, 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 click. Yeah, and then I realized that, he might be paralyzed from the waist down, and I was, like, really sad about that. That's really interesting. Click, 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 pop, pop, click, 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 pop, pop, pop. Yeah, and then I get the feeling that you're not even listening to me! Huh? What?
That's terrible.
Yeah. Not even listening. Just walk out. When someone does that, get the hell up and leave. You do not have time. You don't have time for that. Oh, but as we're older, and in the millennials and the Gen Zers, they grew up with that. So it's okay. It's okay. No, it's never okay. We're human beings. We have feelings. We have egos. And for you to just turn your head and click away on your smartphone.
He's nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
That's the end of my shouting rant. Today we bring you a shouting rant as we go outside a cafe anyway. We bring you Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. So is Trump going to do a shouting rant tonight on his live broadcast?
They will be met with fire, fury, and frankly power, the likes of which this world has never seen before.
That poor immigrant woman on the border, gonna shoot fire on her.
I think part of what is happening, I think Democrats are letting their hair on fire to get you to cover this story, to try and keep repeating the same story.
That was Paul Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. He's gone. He's no longer in the building. He's found his new calling outside of the world of politics. Gone.
Oh, my.
Are you out of your mind?
I think I am slightly, but let's get back on topic.
Nobody ever told me that politics was going to be so much fun.
So he knows when he's, let's say, at a, one of those things he does where he talks to people. What do they call that? An ego. What he's feeding his ego at those things. Ego feed. When Trump is at an ego feed, doing those big speeches he does, where he's just rambling off the top of his head, he knows when he's losing the audience, he just has to hit the wall button. Bam! Hits the wall button, and then he's got them back. He's got them back, and he hits that wall button again, and the people are cheering. They love it. He hits the wall button, and that's when he falls back on the greatest hits. That's when, a band is playing, we're going to play stuff off our new album, and everybody's like, oh, God. No, play that hit I heard in every single 80s movie. No, play that hit song I hear in all those commercials where they're cleaning stuff. 23andMe, speaking of commercials, they are advertising like crazy now. Oh, my God. All over the place. They're advertising. That's where they're trying to figure out your ancestry. That's another ego boost that we try to do. Where am I from? Who was my great-great-grandfather that died a long time ago that's probably racist, who I probably never would want to meet anyway? Oh, who are all these people I'll never meet and never get to know? I know. I'll spend money on a stupid test that's way overpriced. Oh, but they tell you all about, let's see, if you're going to die of whooping cough. They're going to tell you that. If any genetic things, you'll get to know. Because of 23andMe. No. Nope. You're not going to sucker me into that. Stupid. I know. All I know is I exist. C'est l'existe. It's my French. I don't even think that was French. I don't even think I said anything. What was that? C'est là was aussi desist.
I'm French! Why do you think I have this?
Stupid accent, you silly king. Okay. if you're losing your hair... Oh, yeah. So if I look at my gene pool, I'll find out that there are lots of bald people in my past. Because I am bald. So I don't need to know. I don't need to pay for stupid 23andMe. I know. And if you do lose your hair, what did we learn last week? You don't grow your hair on your face. You look idiotic. All these bald white men walking around with crap on their face. And then they dye the goatee or dye the beard. It looks awful. Stop it. Oh, I thought I was going to go into another shouting match. Shouting time on the show. I loved the Bay Area, speaking of which, during the New Year's Eve, during the whole holiday time. Now it's starting to pick up again, but oh, it was so beautiful. I could get from point A to point B with relatively no issues at all. Oh, I love that. We need that all the time. Can't we have like a mass outbreak of some sort? Just get, put a bunch of people at home. They have to stay at home for a while. I'm not saying I want them to die. Just stay at home for a while. So, a little bit longer so I can get from point A to point B much faster in my automobile. That sounds a little bit like this. That wasn't even that was a Harley, wasn't it? There you are!
Yes, I love technology.
I was looking for this last week. As much as you see. Yes, technology, always and forever. Yay, I found that. So good. Let's wrap up the show. I just think that this whole government shutdown is ridiculous. The trash is piling up in Yosemite. There are bears that are going, thank you, Trump. Oh, what can I eat now that's in here? Yum. Delish. All this trash. Nothing's getting picked up. Toilets aren't being cleaned. All the more reason never to ever go to Yosemite again. Ooh, good gosh. Too crowded. It's a long drive, and then you get there and there are people everywhere. By the way, people are no longer buying sedans, from what I'm hearing. That's why if you go and buy a used sedan right now, I think they're falling in price pretty much. Because the auto companies are like, no, we're not going to make any more sedans. We're going to stick to the SUVs. People aren't buying sedans. Yeah, this is I have various sources telling me that people are not buying sedans as much. New ones anyway. So now there'll be an overglut of them on the market, and hopefully the price will go down, and hopefully I will have a car that I can buy when mine dies. And then Chipotle, this is the last bit of interesting news that caught my eye. 50% return. If you had invested in Chipotle a year ago, last year, this was a year ago's at the height of their whole, what was it, E. coli salmonella outbreak thing. They were trying like crazy to get people to come back. And I remember going to Chipotle and seeing all these people, these thin, white people eating, they were mostly white. That's what caught my eye. I'm like, okay, all these white people, they come here for Mexican food. There's a beautiful taqueria right down the street, and they come here. But they don't eat the burritos. They get the burrito bowl. I'm gonna go eat the burrito bowl because that tortilla's got all that flour and it's so bad for you. I'm like, I'm not gonna eat all that tortilla, even though it's delicious. No, the taqueria down the street's got 18 different types of tortillas. You can have wheat, spinach, tomato, chipotle, this other one. And then finally, as we wrap up the show, because I'm hot and I've got this jersey on and I don't know why, and I'm just really warm and all that, and I've hit the wall button and nothing's happened. Let me hit it again. Oh, let me hit it again. Go! Let me hit it again. Mayday! Oh, let's finally say goodbye, or hello. Yeah, let's say hello. I don't know why I say hello when you say goodbye to these people. Oh my gosh, it's Madame Rootabega. It's a beautiful day, although it's very cold outside of cafe anyway. Oh, that's right, madam. It is. So we should end the show so we'll stop being cold. Look who else is here.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant here at Cafe Anyway. And look who else is driving up right now there.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that? Oh, I do know that. Next show it'll be Chely Shoehart will be back. And she's in the podcast picture today, the cartoon. See that at MIKEs-DAILY-PODCAST.com. We will also have Floyd the Floorman, John Deere the Engineer. Thank you for listening to episode 1779. 1779! What a wonderful year that was. 1979, that was pretty cool, too. Video killed the radio star.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST.com.
Email Mike now at MIKES-DAILY-PODCAST@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!